Welcome back to the channel, JK here, and this is Joy-Con Gaming. Now I'm sorry to say guys, that in this video, I am mad. I am so enraged, I am triggered, because there I've been enjoying the full unveiling of the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct, getting really hyped. I got my pre-order, I'm so excited for that. I've been enjoying all of the conversations that are taking place online and reading the comments of other people who are super excited for the Switch 2 and all of the great games that are coming out, like Mario Kart World, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Metroid Prime 4, the third-party titles like Cyberpunk, Elden Ring, Tony Hawk's 3 and 4 games. So many games to be excited about, and most of the comments are really positive and people are just as hyped as I am. But increasingly so, everywhere I look, on lots of different platforms, people are complaining about the price of the games. Not just on the Switch 2, but also this has existed for a long time now, even on the Nintendo Switch. You've got comments like this, and all of these. People have got this weird perception that Nintendo games are, anything on the Nintendo platforms, are way more expensive than other platforms. People are saying, you know, oh, you should buy on the other platforms, you should buy on PlayStation, you should buy on Xbox because the games are always cheaper over there. Oh, don't even get me started on Steam. Everywhere. Steam Store has well bigger discounts. You should always buy on Steam. Nintendo eStore never has any good deals. The games never go on sale. The Nintendo games are overpriced. Look, you guys are wrong, and I'm here to end it in this conversation. Let's go. Okay, first of all, we're going to look at big AAA heavy hitter games. Games that the studios have poured millions of pounds and hours into developing. The real showpieces for what companies are able to achieve these days. They push systems to their absolute limits. So yeah, they're all best of the best. Big games that have all released within 6 months of each other. And we'll pick one game per platform. So for Steam, we're going to look at Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. For Xbox, we will pick Doom: The Dark Ages. PlayStation will be Ghost of Yotei, and Nintendo will be Mario Kart World. So let's have a look at them. So here we are on Steam's website, and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, the basic version is, if we're rounding up, £65. Doom on the Xbox website is £70. On PlayStation Store, Ghost of Yotei, or Yotei, it's Yotei actually. Ghost of Yotei is £70, and Mario Kart World on Nintendo's site is £67. So yeah, that's really interesting. So there you go. Nintendo aren't the most expensive. They're not the cheapest in this case. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth on Steam is actually £2 cheaper. But not all Nintendo games are priced the same. So, you know, Donkey Kong Bonanza, which is another big title for Nintendo this year, if we have a look at the price of that, it's actually £59, which is cheaper. So, Nintendo are either slightly cheaper or more or less the same price for all of these titles, and they're certainly not the most expensive. So, when we look at the big new games, I think it's fair to say Nintendo are definitely not overpriced or charging a lot more than the competition. Okay, so now let's look at some big multi-platform games. Games that have been around for quite a while now, but they still remain giants in terms of popularity. There's a lot of people playing these games still, downloading them. They still rank really high in the top sales figures. So yeah, let's look at these titles. I've also picked titles that are all cross-platform so that we have a fair comparison. Okay, so first up, Lego Marvel Superheroes. Really fun game. Great if you've got kids, great for couch co-op. Let's have a look here. So I'm not going to look at the current prices, I'm just going to look at the price history so we can see what it's been, you know, in the past. So Switch, £3.50, Steam, £3, Xbox One, £4.80, and PlayStation, £3.50. So that's PlayStation 4. So yeah, PlayStation and Steam are the cheapest there. Actually, no, Steam, £3. But only by 50p. So, you know, we're talking very, very low prices. It's not like the Switch is suddenly way more expensive than the other platforms. They're almost identical with that first title. Next, EA Sports FC 25. Again, let's go down to the price history. Switch, £16.50. Steam, £18. PlayStation 5, £21. Xbox Series X and S, also £21. So in this specific example with this game, Switch and Nintendo, you know, is actually the cheapest platform for that game. Hogwarts Legacy. I know this game, I know many friends actually love this game. I'm looking forward to the Switch 2 edition, but it's still kind of a miracle port that they got it to run on the Switch. Let's have a look at the price history. Steam, £12.50. Switch, £12.50. Switch 2, it's £50 because it's going to be a brand new game and it's got a lot of updates. But let's just look, you know, with the Switch, it's £12.50. PlayStation 4, £15. Xbox Series S, £19.50. So actually slightly more expensive on Xbox there. But when it comes to Steam and Switch, they're the cheapest at £12.50. Borderlands 3 Ultimate Edition, price history. Switch at £13.25, PlayStation 5 £21. Let's round these down. So £13 for Switch, £21 for PlayStation, and £18.50 for Steam. And for Xbox, it's £21. So yeah, Borderlands 3 Ultimate Edition. The Switch is actually the cheapest platform you can get the game. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 remakes. Across all of the platforms, apart from Steam actually, is £14 and Steam is £16. So almost the same across the board, but actually the consoles in this scenario are actually a little bit cheaper. Life is Strange True Colors. Yeah, same price across the board, £15. Again, yeah, so identical pricing from Nintendo there for a very popular game. Stardew Valley. One of the most popular indie games on any platform, an absolute true gem. I know many people have sunk hundreds of hours into this game, which is why I've not played it yet, because I'm terrified I will just lose my life. But yeah, so Switch, £5.50, Steam, £5.50, PlayStation, £5.70, and Xbox, £6. Nintendo Switch and Steam are the cheapest places to play that game. Dead by Daylight. Steam is the cheapest here at £5.24. I'm going to stop rounding up. I'm just going to say the prices. So £5.24 for Steam, $9.99 for Xbox X and Series S. I might jump around. PlayStation is £10. Switch is £10.50. So in this scenario, Switch is actually slightly higher. It's almost on par with the consoles, but Steam is actually, you're saving a £5 or thereabouts on Steam in that scenario with that game. But overall, the consoles aren't ludicrously more expensive than Steam, so it's not too bad. But yeah, Steam was slightly cheaper with that one. Doom Eternal, £8.74 across the board. Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered. The Switch is £7.50, Xbox £6, PlayStation £6, Steam £8.50. So yeah, weird one here where Steam is actually the more expensive game, Switch is in the middle, and the consoles are Xbox and PlayStation are the cheapest. Overcooked 2, £4.99 across the board. Hollow Knight. On Switch it's £5.50, on PlayStation it's £4.63, on Xbox it's £6, Steam it's £6.40. So PlayStation 4 is actually the cheapest platform to play that game, and then the second cheapest place is Nintendo Switch. So yeah, great prices there still for another very, very popular indie game. Another popular indie game, one that is strangely therapeutic. My son really loves playing this game. I think he's sunk about 30 hours over, many weeks just in the demo alone. I said to him when he 100%s the cleaning of the house on the demo, I will pay for the full game. Maybe I should wait for it to go on sale again, because on Nintendo Switch it's actually the cheapest place in terms of the price history at £8, and the other platforms are £14, so quite a bit cheaper there on the Switch. Ark Survival Evolved. This is an interesting one. So Xbox £4.18, Steam £12.79, PlayStation 4 £3.99, and Switch £4.49. So the consoles are pretty cheap, around £4.50 or less, whereas Steam in this scenario is actually over £12, so still not too expensive on Steam, but you're saving a lot more money if you go with the console editions. Hades, let's see, Xbox £8.39, Steam £8.39, Switch £7.87, PlayStation 4 £7.99. So the Switch comes in at as the cheapest place to purchase that game in terms of its historical discounts. And finally, it's not the latest Civilization game, it's the previous one, but my point by looking at these older titles is that the price across all of the platforms eventually does come down, and you can see that here with Sid Meier's Civilization 6 across all of the platforms is down to £2.50 in terms of historical discounts. So I think it's safe to say, if a game's been on the market for a very long time and it's a popular title, no matter what platform you're looking at, you're going to get a great deal. There's lots of scenarios we've gone through here where Nintendo's actually been the cheapest platforms to purchase on, but there are other examples where Steam's the cheapest platform. So I think it averages out across the board. It's safe to say that when you're buying these big popular games, been on the market a long time, no matter what platform you choose, you'll get a good deal if you stay savvy. Okay, so in the final segment, let's take a look at Nintendo first-party titles, games that are published by Nintendo. Obviously with these, you can only buy them and play them on a Nintendo console. I mean, it's one of the reasons, or main reasons, why people like to buy Nintendo consoles. You can't play Zelda, Mario, Kirby, Pokemon, Smash Bros, these giant titles, Animal Crossing, Splatoon, so many awesome franchises. You can't play those on any other platform. The franchises have a reputation of being, absolute gold standard, absolute best quality. If you buy any of these games, you're in for a really good time. But despite this, it's often brought up that Nintendo first-party games are expensive and they never go on sale. Firstly, I would argue that they are certainly worth the price. For the amount of enjoyment you get, they are worth £50 to £70 easily. If you think about the price of, maybe a cinema trip for two people, you could be spending that amount of money easily, and that only lasts for 2 to 3 hours depending on how long the film is, whereas with a Nintendo game you're getting hours and hours of enjoyment. I mean, I've put over I think 300 hours into Zelda Breath of the Wild, and that isn't abnormal. Millions of other people have done the same. Obviously, for not all games don't put as many hours in, but you're looking, I'd say, on average at least 20 to 30 hours minimum per title, so you're getting a lot of really good value there, and again, experiences that you won't really find on any other platform. Secondly is game vouchers. Now, on the Nintendo eStore, for many first-party titles, Nintendo has the game voucher scheme, and the price is going to be different depending on what region you're in, but essentially it enables you to get 2 big games for much less. So the cost of a voucher or 2 vouchers costs £84 here in the UK, and you can see that most of the first party Nintendo games, when they're not on sale, are around £50, and some of the titles like Zelda Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, if I find those, they will be a lot more. Let me just have a quick look. The Zelda games, Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, are actually slightly more at £60, whereas most of the Nintendo titles are £50. So by buying 2 of these game vouchers, you are saving between £16 to £36 by opting into that scheme. Thirdly, Nintendo games do go on sale. Usually the highest amount of discounts you will see are 33%. So Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey, Animal Crossing, Splatoon have all gone on sale for this price, and do usually around the sort of normal times like Black Friday. So if you're looking for a good deal, that's the time to buy those games. Smaller titles like Captain Toad, WarioWare, Snipperclips, they're priced less to begin with anyway, but with the 33% discount that you typically see, you can sometimes snap these up for £25 to £13, and still, brilliant games, very good quality, many hours of enjoyment that you can get out of those. And fourthly, the great thing about Nintendo Switch and Switch 2 is that all of the models support physical cartridges. So no matter what tier model you're purchasing, you've got the option of physical and digital media. Whereas with PlayStation 5, you have to pay a premium to have that disc drive, and it's the same with Xbox. You need to get the disc drive add-on or upgrade to the Series X model. And with Steam, you don't even have that option. You've only got digital. So it's really cool that you've got cartridges on the Switch and Switch 2. And the great thing about this is you've got physical stores. Here in the UK, we've got CEX, where you can get games at really good prices secondhand. You've got eBay, you've got other online stores, you've got Facebook Marketplace. You can snap up fantastic deals all the time on physical games, and you're making a big saving. And that they're great quality. The other thing is that Nintendo first-party titles typically hold their value, so they do depreciate a little bit after they've been owned for a while, but they don't go sort of too low. What I'm trying to say is you can typically pick up games for around £20 to £25 if you're looking in the right places, and if you were to buy a game at that price, you play it, you get your hours of enjoyment out of it, you can then sell that game for basically the same price and pick up another brand new title. So if you're into the habit of effectively buying games, playing them, and then selling them on, you can effectively do that perpetually without really costing you anything. Which is a really nice thing. And the other thing is, with Nintendo, the physical aspect, there's a lot of collectors. So with some titles, you'll actually see the value of the games go up. So if you're quite savvy and you purchase the right titles at the right time, and you hold on to them for a while, you could then decide to sell them, and you actually end up making more money in the long run, which is also really cool. So yeah, there we have it. Hopefully I've convinced you. As we can see, when it comes to the big brand new AAA games across all of the platforms, the pricing is basically the same across the board, and Nintendo is actually not the most expensive. When it comes to third-party titles that have been on the market for quite a long time, again, the pricing is effectively the same across the board, with Nintendo eStore and the Steam store actually being the slightly cheaper of the ones out there. Thirdly, we've got game vouchers. So the cool thing about Nintendo is you can buy these vouchers and save anywhere between £16 to £36 on brand new titles. Not always brand new. Nintendo big first party titles, so big saving. Effectively they're always on discount if you take advantage of that scheme. And finally, you've got the option of physical and digital media, so you can look for great deals and have that option as well. So hopefully I've convinced you. Nintendo definitely is not overpriced, is not the most expensive of all of the platforms. People out there don't know what they're talking about, and that conversation needs to change. So if you see people or hear people having that conversation and making that argument, just link them to this video and it should shut them up. Now it's time for our community section, where we celebrate other Nintendo fans online and artists. So first up, we've got our art feature. We've got WowKozuki on Instagram. WowKozuki does really cool Pokemon mashups and crossovers in the old watercolor Pokemon style from Red and Blue. You can see here that he does mashups with other anime and things like that. So you got Ho-Oh with Luffy from One Piece. You got other Pokemon here. Lots of Pokemon and One Piece mashups. There's a Full Metal Alchemist mashup here. Just really, really cool stuff. Like, check out their page. Very, very awesome artwork. especially if you like One Piece and anime. And our fan art feature goes to my good friend Sam. He is a visual effects artist, so check out his page as well. Sam got in touch with me recently to say, you know, why have you not been posting any videos? Been really enjoying them. Like, why has there not been any content for a long time? Very sorry about that, guys. The reason for it is just because life's been super busy at the minute. I got sick for quite a long time. Then I went on holiday. Things have been really busy at work, and I've also had a bit of a family crisis, or whatever you want to call it, recently, with a member of the family becoming quite ill. I've been caught up, but I'm gonna try and get back into bringing out videos on a fairly regular basis once again. I've got another video after this, and very soon the Nintendo Switch 2 pre-order is going to be arriving at my house, and you can be rest assured that I will be doing a full unboxing and plenty of videos on that as well, so stay tuned. Thank you for your support. My name's JK, this has been Joy-Con Gaming. I'll see you in the next video, and until then, keep sharing the joy.